I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night to wherever you're watching this transmission. Tis I, Mike Martins. Thanks for joining me, guys. Guys, I got a story and a half I need to share with you guys. And we talk a lot on the channel. We talk a lot about precious metals. We talk about silver, gold stacking. We talk about, we've even had miners on the show that come in and talk about different mining equipment they use and blah, blah, blah. All kinds of stuff over the years, right? And gold is a big deal. Gold is the one of the number one assets that a lot of investors go to when the going gets tough in the markets, when you got your governments overspending, when you got the economy looking like it's hanging from a spider's web, when you have, when you don't even know what the heck is going on. Well, it's gold. People buy junior miners, people buy gold miners, people buy physical gold, they stack silver, they hedge the time away as they enter uncharted waters and hope for the best, and hopefully there's a bounce back in the economy so they could return to buying stocks and more profit. Well, depending on what you see as profitable, right? Okay. So we've had a lot of people on the show come and tell us, well, the only wealth you could have and the only real wealth is gold and silver, and money is not it's printed, not minted. Back in the day, we used to have a gold-backed currency, or our currencies were backed by some sort of tangent value, right? Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, let's get to the article that was sent to me by Layla earlier today, and I'm finally getting some time to read it for you guys. Stay the hell away from gold. Yes, the opposite side of the room, the opposite side of the corner, the opposite side of the rink, the opposite side of the field. It's telling you to stay the hell away from gold. And why? The oft-quoted line from The Merchant of Venice is apt. All that glitters is not gold. But gold lately has been doing a lot of glittering as the price per ounce soars to its all-time high. The question is whether this is a good thing to buy now. The answer is no. Is it a good time to buy gold now? Well, they're saying it's not. Not at these prices, because the yellow metal is notoriously volatile. Unless you are a deft in and out commodities trader, which not many people are, or a long-term investor, which you should be, then gold is a problematical holding. Problematical holding. Certainly in any large amount. Not problematical holding. Gold finished last week at $1,897 an ounce, marking an all-time record, beating out previous apex reached in 2011. Significantly, the record hit 9 years ago was during another fraught time. Remember the fraught time in 2011, right? In the aftermath of the financial crisis and the Great Recession, then the new threat of the European sovereign debt mess seemed poised to push the world economy back into the mire. I like how they write this like it's all poetic. Physical gold and the exchange-traded funds and mutual funds that track it are likely to keep on ascending for a while. As Mohamed El-Erian, chief economist advisor at Allianz, explained the phenomena in his last tweet last Friday. The surge in gold continues this morning as more investors see it as one of the last unattractive risk mitigator, adding exposure to both tactical and strategic portfolios. Amid economic downturns, political turmoil, and inflation, gold tends to thrive. Today, we sure have the first two Maligan forces battering us. Alas, the damn volatility means that once the bad times are past, gold will drop like a heavy rock it is. After the sovereign debt crisis portrayed out in the last decade, gold is more than 40% of its value and sank to a low point of 1,060 in late 2015. If you guys remember that, right? So, let me tell you guys, my personal portfolio, I think I got about 5% gold. That's all I have. It's 5% gold in my holdings, right? And I got 5% gold, 10% silver. And a majority of it is stock, right? Whether it's being shorted, whether it's long term, whether it's in an ETF, whether it's in a good dividend paying stock, right? Well, then came the US-China trade war, and gold took off again. The pandemic has fueled the rise further. Want to bet that gold price stay this high and go higher over a long period? The smart money doesn't think so. In institutions whose guided principle is long-term investing usually spurn gold or just keep a tiny amount for diversification purposes. The $157 billion teacher retirement system of Texas has less than 1% in gold. And what about gold as an inflationary hedge? So we talk about that a lot. Gold is the best to hedge against inflation. Is definitely gold, because it's going to cost you more of your money to buy more gold. Because to buy gold is going to cost more of your money to buy more gold when your currency begins to devalue. While inflation is barely existent now, some fear that all government stimulus pumped into economies worldwide will eventually produce a spiraling consumer prices. Isn't gold worth keeping for that? That's a really good question, right? Unfortunately, gold's volatility also renders it less useful as inflation offset over time. Now hold on, now watch this. Dating back to the 1970s, an era of genuinely bad inflation, gold price as the ratio to consumer price index oscillated from a low of 1.47 as a high of 8.68. A study at Duke professor Campbell, Harvey, and former TCW portfolio manager Claude Areb found an upshot, inflation adjusted. Gold would need more than 50% higher than the present level to equal what it was back then. You want better inflation hedge? Try stocks. And that's what I've done, folks. I bought a whole pile of airline stock, and everybody gets mad at me in the comments. Here he goes again with his airline stock. And every time someone says that, I go buy more American Airlines, Air Canada, Air Transat. I keep buying oil and airlines. So they're saying try stocks whose earnings are typically rise as inflation heats up. That's the conclusion of the study by North Carolina State professor Richard Warr, calculated by decades since 1871, inflation-adjusted earnings growth rates were 21% less volatile than on a nominal bias. Thus, Warr concluded, equity outdoes gold over time. In fairness, he did concede that over a short-term periods of inflation, gold can outperform. That's 100%. I'm not doubting that. That's 100%. In the fullness of time, investing in this precious metal is buying fool's gold. So right now, are you buying fool's gold, buying gold right now? That is the main question I want to ask you guys. The reason why I'm asking you guys this, I did stack a bit of gold, I think in 2008, in 2009, I stacked a bit of gold. I've never sold it. I've never had to sell it. I've stacked quite a bit of silver, and I never really see it. I have it. It's just stored. I don't, it's there, but physical, yes. But when it comes to miners, I got a bit of silver, a bit of gold. I mean, I'm not out in the cold. I got some of it. But what these guys are saying here in this article, I'm in the stocks now. I shorted. Luckily, I shorted because all the damn gold junior miners and the gold miners and everything I had in January, I held all my gold, silver, all my gold, and I even held pharmaceutical. All that crap went down. It went down dangerously. And I'm like, what the heck? Luckily, I shorted ExxonMobil and all these other big companies. Luckily, I shorted those guys because I'd be down pretty bad right now. I'd be beaten down right now if I didn't short a bunch of airlines and companies like that. I'm very lucky I did, because if I didn't, I'd be crying the blues every day with you guys. But luckily, because what I lost off gold and pharmaceutical from January, and I thought that was the best hedge and the best, with the pumping in the money and everything, I was dead to right wrong. I was so wrong. And that's why I don't give financial advice here. But 1 year from now, we got 10 months to go. 10, we got 10 months. And we're going to revisit the airline stock I bought. I've never sold any of it. I have never, okay, I've sold a little bit of profit when it went up really high that one weekend. I took a bit of money from it. But we're going to revisit the stock that I bought 2 months ago, this airline stock that everybody told me. The video's here on my channel. So here's the channel, guys. If you guys want to subscribe to it or be part of it, please subscribe to the channel. Not everyone subscribes to the channel, but if you can, it's in here. It's in my videos. You got to go way back here where I bought a bunch of airline stock and I'm laughing. Did I do right here? I bought a ton of airline stock. YouTuber. Bought a ton of. I got 7 dislikes. That's like probably one of the most disliked video I have. But a lot of people said airline stocks like buying cruise ship stocks. You know, so a lot of people were saying, I don't agree with your choice. Not hating Mike, but I think your timing's off with investment. So, what do you guys think? Am I still wrong about the airline stock? Am I still wrong about oil? I shorted a bunch of oil, then I rebought a bunch of oil. Right? Let's go back to that video. Watch this video. I did a video the day before oil went negative, and I told everyone it was going to go negative a day before. I'm proud of that. So, I'm sorry. Negative oil. Right here. Right here. Here's the video. Let me go to article scan. This is when I was watching the Asian markets. Oil down 15.50% in 2 hours. Crude oil will go negative like in the morning. Look, oil will go negative come Monday. Despite the historic OPEC production cut deal, available oil. I knew it was going to go negative, but I put my money right here where my mouth was. And I shorted every damn oil stock that I could get my, well, not every, but a majority of oil stocks I could get my hands on. And that's that, guys. Money's in the markets, guys. And yes, gold and silver is great. I think it's a great way to hedge. I think it's a great way to diversify. But are these guys right? Are you buying fool's gold at the price it is now? Should people be selling? I really look forward to reading your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know below. Thanks for watching.